Hello everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Rafael and welcome to today's video. And today, as you saw from the gameplay, we have another hybrid build. This time, this build is pretty much as hybrid as it can get, in my opinion. We have everything except of a lot of armor. We have weapon damage, we have skill damage, we have skill repairs, we have armor generation. We have pretty much everything a player can ask except high armor. However, it doesn't really matter because our armor regeneration and the skill repairs, are going to be working overtime, so it will feel like we have a bunch of armor. So let's see what we got here. Starting off, I want to start with let's start with the skills. We have the Fix-It Drone. I wanted to get a skill which would keep me alive, but I was tired of using the Hive and having to pick it up, throw it down, pick it up, throw it down all the time, simply because I like to run a lot when I'm playing. Also, something that I wasn't a big fan of when it came to the Hive is that it has a big cooldown. However, the drone, which lasts for 232 seconds, I completed entire control points without my drone going down and keeping me alive throughout the entire duration of that control point. So I would say that even though the heals from the drone are slower than the Hive, overall it's a better choice in my opinion if you like to be running around all the time and you don't like to wait for the cooldowns. Moving on to the second skill, I wanted to have some damage, so I obviously went with the Tard, which I think is the hardest hitting skill in the game because it is so damn consistent and it will output, a decent amount of DPS for 244 seconds, pretty much every second, as long as it has enemies to shoot at, right? As you can see, we have 5 skill tiers. Those 5 skill tiers come from my memento. We get another one from the holster over here. That's 2. Third one is from the Fox Prayers. And the 5th one is from the Branched Brazos de Arquebus. The reason I didn't go for a 6th skill tier, it's simply because at 5, both my skill damage but also my skill repairs were pretty good. I was very happy with the amount of repairs and skill damage I was getting, so I thought it would be better to invest in some more weapon damage, because as you can see here, at first this was skill tier. I changed it to weapon damage to see if I like it better that way, and the build in my opinion performs better when you have 5 skill tiers and 4 red core attributes. So let's get into the pieces. First of all, let's talk about the chest piece. The chest piece is a Fenris Group AB piece for the 10% assault rifle damage, because we're obviously using the capacitor, which is an assault rifle. We have weapon damage, skill damage, and skill haste, and a 6% critical hit chance. The talent on it is the kinetic momentum. When in combat, its skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. So pretty much both our skills, because they're going to be active for so long, are always going to be at max stacks, and kinetic momentum will always be procced. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2% up to 50 stacks per skill. So basically, from the kinetic momentum, we're going to get an extra 15% skill damage and 30% skill repairs. Moving on the mask, we have the first Brazos de Arquebus piece. As I told you earlier, we want the Brazos de Arquebus because we get the +1 skill tier. The 10% skill haste, it's not awful, but it's also not, something that I couldn't live without, if we're being honest. I don't really care about it, but it's nice to have. We have 15% weapon damage, 6% critical hit chance, 9.5% skill haste, and another 6% critical hit chance mod. The second Brazos de Arquebus piece is of course the Picaros holster. We have 1 skill tier for its core attribute. We have the perfect roll of 15% weapon damage, and then we have the armor regeneration over here, which is really not that good. I don't really care about it. I don't really want it. However, this is the best Picaros holster I have. The other option with skill tier again and weapon damage is with health, which is even worse than armor generation, and the other Picaros holster comes with a blue core attribute, which I don't like, and I have recalibrated the attribute to 12% critical hit damage because this is my PvP Picaros holster. But overall, if you can change this one over here, if you can get skill damage, skill repairs, critical hit damage, or critical hit chance, it would be great. Moving on to the Fox Prayers. Yes, I have a bunch of Fox sprayers, so I can play around and change their core attributes, the other attribute, and things like that. As you can see here, let me see. We have how many Fox sprayers? I have 4 Fox sprayers, as you can see. So I don't mind recalibrating the core attribute from weapon damage to skill tier. If you have only 1 Fox sprayers, I wouldn't recommend you to do that. I would recommend you to go and farm for a second one, because most likely in most of your builds you will want your Fox sprayers to be with its core attribute being weapon damage and not skill tier. I recalibrated this to skill tier because these over here drop with 10% skill damage. So I thought to myself, damn, this could be good for skill builds, and it turns out that they're pretty good. So 1 skill tier, 8% damage targets out of cover to boost our capacitor damage, and then 10% skill damage for our turret. The gloves are a full red piece because at that point I want to boost my overall weapon damage as much as possible. It's a Grupo Sombra piece. We get 15% critical hit damage, 14.8% weapon damage, 6% critical hit chance, 12% critical hit damage. Very nice stuff. And then the last piece is the memento. The reason for the memento is the long-term buff mostly, because we will get an additional 30% weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, which pretty much means 30% skill damage, 30% skill duration, 30% skill repairs. And last but not least, we also get the 3% armor regeneration, which goes very well with the fixer drone. Going on to the weapon, of course, we're using the capacitor, as I already told you. Not too great rolls, but I don't want to waste my exotic components yet to recalibrate it, if we're being honest, to reconfigure it, excuse me. The reason for the capacitor, in case you are a new player and you don't know, is that it's hands down the best weapon to use when it comes to skill damage build, simply because you get an additional 60 skill damage from its 40 stacks. Each stack will give you 1.5% skill damage, which if you add up goes all the way up to 60%, which is a huge damage boost. And the second benefit that you have by using the capacitor is that each skill tier gives it 7.5% weapon damage. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skill tiers, so that's a hell of a weapon damage being added to it. However, I don't know if the skill tier from the specialization actually counts, so I'm not too sure about that. If anybody knows, please let me know down below in the comment section. As you can see here, the specialization is the technician. It gives us plus 1% skill tier, and another great buff that we get from the technician is the 10% skill healing, which if you don't like, you can change and get 10% skill damage over here. It really comes down to your personal preference. If we go to my stats, you will see we have 50% critical hit chance, so we're gonna be hitting those critical hits, and 102% critical hit damage. So overall, a very fun build, if I'm being honest. In case you're one of those players who like to take its time with clearing content, who wants an all-around build. I used to be that kind of player way back when I was like, I don't know, 300 SHD level, almost more than 2 years ago, I think, or something like that. Not more, but around 2 years ago. I used to love builds like this one, which gave you pretty much everything: weapon damage, skill repairs, and skill damage. So I thought I would go back and recreate one of those builds, because it's actually, if it is what you enjoy, they are very fun to play with. So yeah, thank you very much for watching the video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye bye.